Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Good evening, Nigeria, and welcome to Waste Primetime. My name is Chioma Kalu, and tonight we are turning the spotlight to the heartbreaking incident that, shook the peaceful Kwara community and raised fresh concerns about the spread of insecurity across Nigeria. Now, according to reports, armed bandits stormed the Christ Apostolic Church, Oke-Isegun Idiche, in Eruku, Kwara State, during a service, abducting over 30 worshippers and killing 3 people in the attack. Now, the gunmen arrived around 6 p.m., shooting sporadically and dragging congregants, mostly women, into nearby bush. Now, families remain very distraught as such operations intensify to trace the abducted worshippers. Also, the Kwara State Police Command has confirmed the attack, stating that tactical teams, vigilantes, and local hunters have been deployed in a coordinated rescue mission. Soldiers have also taken over the community to stabilize the area and block escape routes. This tragic incident now raises a troubling situation, a troubling question. Now, the question is, are our places of worship, once sanctuaries of hope, becoming soft targets for bandits and violent criminals? I mean, I know I highlighted this yesterday, and it was really a soft one. But hey, let me shock you. I saw another news story that says that the same bandits have kidnapped 4 rice farmers in the same Kwara State. In the same Kwara State. This one happened, the church attack happened on Tuesday. The rice farmers happened yesterday evening, just while we were still talking about this one. And, you want to ask, what is really going on? Now we're hearing, security people, they are this and that. What's giving these people the audacity to actually wreak this amount of havoc, right? Anyway, we're going to be talking about this and so much more. Remember, Ways is all about you, as you are the why in Ways. So be a part of our conversation every single day and add your voice to the discussions. Head on now to YouTube and subscribe at Official Upgrade TV. Like, share, and invite your friends and family, as always, to join the show. And when I open my phone lines, of course, you can call in and we'll hear what you have to say on this particular discourse. And as always, here is a quote for you to ponder on for tonight. And it says, "The measure of a society is how it protects the vulnerable." The measure of a society is how it protects the vulnerable. And this was said by Mahatma Gandhi. We'll get into this much later. We're going to open up all of these things much later. But before then, we'll go on a short break. And when I come back, we'll go through my news interest for the day. Please stay with us. You're still watching Ways, and welcome if you're just joining us. We are discussing the Kwara State attacks. I mean, I was going to limit this discourse to just the one we saw on Tuesday, that is the church attack. But, I mean, a few hours ago, I'm seeing that there are rice farmers who's been kidnapped in the same Kwara State, even though it might be not in the same location as the first attack, but I mean, that's where we are today. But before we get into that, here is a few news stories. Here are a few news stories that we're going to have to talk about. The first one says, Kwara Kebbi abductions. Federal government blames U.S. as kidnap outrage spreads. Isn't this funny? Now, the story says the federal government on Wednesday blamed the renewed terror attacks, including the abduction of schoolgirls in Kebbi and the assaults on worshippers in Eruku, Kwara State, on recent remarks by the United States as public anger over the incident spread nationwide. Now, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Judge Akume, said Trump's posts alleging Christian genocide in Nigeria and threatening to deploy U.S. troops had inadvertently emboldened opportunistic violent groups now seeking to justify attacks on soft targets. Now, he said recent pronouncements from the United States have had inadvertently emboldened, of course, like I said, opportunistic violent groups and seeking to exploit international narratives and make bold statements by attacking soft targets. Now, addressing the evolution of violent extremism, banditry, and ongoing security challenges in the country, the SGF added, before these statements, insurgency structures had been significantly degraded and reduced to isolated banditry. This insurgence underscores the vital need for collaboration, not public labeling, between Nigeria and the United States. Now, remember, Trump had, in a series of posts on X between October 30th and November 1st, 2025, designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern over allegations of a Christian genocide. Now, the U.S. president warned that he might deploy American forces to Nigeria if the alleged killing of Christians did not stop. You know, when I saw this story, it was very laughable. And I'm wondering, how is that statement your problem? And how do you even live with yourself saying that, insurgency and all of these attacks had reduced prior to that statement? It was that statement that it was actually the increase in these attacks that made the U.S. president make that statement. Because you people were acting oblivious to the fact that there were killings going on. You looked us in the eye and you told us there is no such thing as genocide, Christian genocide. And these were the reasons, because you were saying what you were saying. There were evidences. There were evidence everywhere, right? You will come and tell us, oh, there's, but every day we're seeing graves being dug. We're seeing multiple caskets being laid 6 feet. We're seeing families coming out to cry, oh, they burnt our houses. I lost about 20 of my family members. We're seeing videos of these things. We're seeing houses that were burnt from top to bottom, and we're seeing skulls of humans. Right? And these are the things that the U.S. president saw, and he had to make a comment. And you stand there as the SGF to say that it was that particular statement that now gave, these terrorists the mind to wreak more havoc. Shame on us, really, as Nigerians. If this is all we can come up with as a statement, it's embarrassing. Moving on to my second story of interest, it says, disgraced nation, Obi blasts Tinubu. Now, the story says the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 elections, Mr. Peter Obi, has taken a swipe at President Bola Tinubu and the ruling All Progressive Congress for allegedly prioritizing politics over governance. He accused the ruling party of paying greater attention to fueling internal conflicts within opposition parties to gain undue advantage in the political space than it was giving attention to the task of protecting the lives and properties of Nigerians. Obi, who said this in a post on his verified X handle yesterday, said when a few weeks ago President Trump described the country as now disgraced, it sparked outrage, but wondered if this could honestly be disputed today. So in his post titled "Now Disgraced Nation," the former LP standard bearer said, a few weeks ago, when President Trump described our country as now disgraced, many were outraged. Yet, how can we dispute it when within a single week, 25 people were kidnapped and one of our generals, along with other officers, were killed? Today, we witnessed another troubling terror attack in Kwara State. Rather than uniting in this critical moment, we are consumed by internal wrangling, party squabbles, and distractions. Look closely, he continued, at what is happening in the PDP, the Labour Party, SDP, and other political formations. Crisis deliberately orchestrated by a government that should be embracing everyone so we could unite in this troubling period. He continued by saying the current government seems more intent on weakening parties than strengthening our democracy, seeking to fragment the PDP, Labour Party, SDP, and others. I mean, I couldn't agree more, right? It just, priorities are different right now. You know, we're here, we're crying, we're agitated, we're scared, you know? But these people, they don't care. Yes, they don't care. They are after every... If you live in Lagos, just try to go to the mainland from the island or try to come to the island from the mainland. That third mainland bridge, I promise you, you're going to count more than 10 campaign posters. Let's do this again 2027. Let's do this, let's do that. Is that the crux of our matter right now? People are dying. They're not goats. They're not animals. These are actual human beings. You know, I was just wondering, this is day 2. Day 2 since, day 2 since these children were abducted from their school. Day 2 since parents have been in tears and wonder if they're ever going to meet their children again. Day 2 since the family of that vice principal have lived without a father. Day 2. And I mean, as is in our culture, we have this weakness, I like to call it. You know, the ability to move on fast, because that's what Nigeria is good at. We adapt quickly and we move on. Our governments, they are beginning to, you know, of course they will come and give you press statements. Oh, our security guys are on ground now. Oh, we've redeployed. Yesterday, our president told us he was depressed. And I'm supposed to applaud you? Yesterday, our senior president told us crime can happen anywhere. It's not peculiar to Nigeria. We are in a crisis. So I couldn't agree more with Peter Obi on this one. Let's shift the focus for now from elections, from dominance, because that's what this is. You want to dominate, and you will come out and tell us, oh, we're not targeting a one-party state, but every action you take suggests that, right? Can we take our focus away from this for a moment and actually, you know, play out the humanity card? Show empathy. Moving on to my last story of interest, because this night I've chosen not to get as angry as I was yesterday. Moving on to our next story, or our final story now. It says, Kebbi school attack. We are tired of condolences. We want action. And this was said by Northern women. Now the story says, Northern women under the umbrella of Voices for Inclusion and Equity for Women, VIEW, have condemned the abduction of 25 schoolgirls from Government's Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, MAGA, in Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State. In a statement issued on Wednesday and signed by Asmao Joda, Mariam Uwais, Myro Mandara, Aisha Oyebode, Fatima Akilu, Kadaria Ahmed, Larai Ocheja, Amusa and Jonathan Ishava, the group described the attack as a failure of leadership and another blow to the nation's conscience. Now, gunmen had stormed the school, of course, as we know, on Monday and killed the vice principal and kidnapped 25 children. Now, they said more than a decade after repeated mass abductions, northern Nigeria is still one of the most dangerous places in the world for a girl seeking an education. Now, the organization warned that recurring kidnappings raise questions about the state's commitment to protecting girls who already face social and economic disadvantages. It said the latest attack further reflects the failure of Safe Schools initiative. Of course, we have already established the fact that that Safe School initiative was just a decoy. It was just something to front for the time being. It didn't last a year. It did not last a year. It was just put in there for us to calm down a bit after that 2014 abduction happened. It just sounded okay. For us to just hear that and say, okay, moving on, this is not going to happen again. But like I said, first of all, we have a continuity problem in Nigeria. Every government wants to come in and do their own thing. Nobody cares about continuing the legacies the previous administration had started. And then we as Nigerians, we as the people, citizens, we have a bad weakness. Yes, I'm calling it that today, of adapting quickly and moving on. Sweeping things under the rug and moving on. These women are crying out. I think when I saw the headline, I was really pleased. Don't come and give us condolences. Oh, this one, the Shatima visited the school. They have gone to see the parents of the kidnapped children. They are not going to feed on condolences. Your condolence is doing nothing for them. What they need is justice. Let's be fair. Let's be frank. All right? I'm hoping, maybe not a lot of people are in my position right now, but I'm hoping this does not escalate more than this. Like I said, Kwara State is not the north. It's just a few hours from Lagos. So it's coming closer. It's hitting home. Anyway, that's all the stories I have for you from the news. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll be talking to our guests on the issue of this